If you've ever wondered how one small question can change a life forever, stay with me until the very end, because what happens in the last moments of this story brings everything full circle. And before we begin, if stories that move your heart matter to you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps these stories reach the people who need them most. The little girl sat on a cold metal bench at the far end of the terminal, her feet not quite touching the floor. The evening announcements echoed above her head, boarding calls blending into a dull hum. Her backpack was too big for her small shoulders, and her right leg, braced in metal and plastic, stuck out awkwardly in front of her. People passed by without slowing down. Some glanced, most didn't, and then a man stopped, crouched down to her eye level, and asked the simplest question anyone could ask. "Hey, sweetheart, where's your family?" That question would unravel a secret a powerful man had buried for years. Hours earlier, the terminal had been alive with motion. Business travelers rushed through with rolling luggage, families argued gently about snacks and seats, and tired employees leaned against counters waiting for the next shift to end. The girl had arrived holding an adult's hand. That hand had been firm, impatient, already pulling away before she fully sat down. The man who brought her there wore an expensive coat and a watch that caught the light every time he checked the time. He didn't hug her. He didn't kneel. He simply placed her backpack beside her, slid a folded envelope into the side pocket, and said, "Sit here. Someone will come." Then he turned and walked away without looking back. The girl waited. At first, she believed him. Adults always knew things kids didn't. She watched every face that passed, certain the person meant for her would appear any second. 10 minutes passed, then 30. Her leg began to ache, and she shifted, wincing quietly, the way she had learned to do so people wouldn't notice. When the sun dipped lower and the terminal lights brightened, fear started to creep in. Not loud fear, the quiet kind that sits heavy in your chest and makes you feel very small. Across the terminal, a single dad named Daniel struggled to balance a coffee in one hand and his son's backpack in the other. His 5-year-old, Noah, chattered nonstop about airplanes and where clouds went at night. Daniel nodded and smiled, even though his mind was tired. Since his wife had passed 2 years earlier, everything felt heavier. Love was still there, but so was exhaustion. Every day was a calculation: time, money, patience. As they walked toward their gate, Noah suddenly stopped. "Daddy," he whispered, "that girl looks sad." Daniel followed his son's gaze and saw her. Alone, too still. He knew that look. He'd seen it in the mirror during his darkest nights. He hesitated. Life had taught him to mind his own business. But then Noah tugged his sleeve again. "She's by herself." And that was enough. Daniel approached slowly, not wanting to scare her. He crouched down, just like he used to do with Noah when he was afraid of thunder. "Hey," he said gently. "Are you waiting for someone?" The girl nodded but didn't speak. Her eyes were tired. "Where's your family?" he asked. Her lips trembled. "My dad brought me," she whispered. "He said someone would come." She glanced behind Daniel, hope flickering for a split second before fading. But no one came. Daniel felt something crack inside him. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she said. "I'm 9. He noticed the brace then, the careful way she held herself. "Do you know who you're supposed to meet?" Lily shook her head. "He just said, it's better this way." Those words landed like a punch. Daniel sat beside her, ignoring the weight of the moment pressing in. "Well," he said softly, "you shouldn't be alone. Not like this." He flagged down a nearby staff member and explained the situation. Security was called. Announcements were made. Lily clutched her backpack, fingers tight around the strap, as if it were the last solid thing in the world. Inside the envelope in her bag was a name and a phone number. A powerful name. The staff recognized it immediately. The CEO of a multinational company. A man known for ruthless efficiency and cold decision-making. The same man who, in his private life, had a secret he never wanted exposed. A daughter born with a disability that didn't fit into the perfect image he curated. Lily's mother had passed away years earlier, and caring for Lily had become, in his mind, an inconvenience he could no longer afford. When the phone call reached him, he was in a boardroom, finalizing a deal worth millions. He dismissed the call at first. Then it rang again, and again. Annoyed, he stepped out. The words on the other end drained the color from his face. "Sir, your daughter has been found alone at the terminal." For the first time in years, his carefully controlled world tilted. Back at the terminal, Daniel stayed with Lily. He bought her a sandwich. Noah shared his juice. Lily smiled for the first time, a small, cautious smile, but it was real. She told them about how her dad used to read her stories when she was little, before things changed. Before meetings and assistance and silence replaced bedtime and laughter. Daniel listened, heart aching, wondering how anyone could walk away from this gentle soul. When the CEO finally arrived, the terminal seemed to shrink around him. He walked fast, jaw tight, eyes scanning until they landed on Lily. She looked up, hope and hurt colliding in her gaze. "Dad," she said. He stopped a few feet away. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Lily asked the question that mattered most. "Why did you leave me?" Something broke then. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet collapse of walls built over years. The CEO saw himself reflected in the eyes of a man kneeling beside his daughter, a stranger who had done what he could not. Stayed, cared, asked. Tears came, unexpected and unwelcome, but unstoppable. He knelt, hands shaking. "I was wrong," he said, voice cracking. "I thought I was protecting you. But I was running." Lily didn't move at first. Then, slowly, she leaned into him. The hug was hesitant, imperfect, but it was a beginning. The aftermath wasn't instant forgiveness or a perfect ending. It was therapy appointments, difficult conversations, and learning how to be present. The CEO stepped back from his role, choosing time over titles. Daniel and Noah remained in Lily's life, a reminder that family can be found in the most unexpected places. And Lily learned something powerful, that her worth was never defined by someone else's fear. So if you're still here, thank you for staying until the end. Remember this: sometimes the smallest question can save a life. If this story touched you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. You never know who might need to hear the next one.